Okay, everybody, welcome back. So we are doing a little unboxing here. So nothing too fancy. Obviously, it is a small box, and I already have it cracked open. My address was right on the front there, and you guys don't need to see that. But we got some plants. In fact, I'm just going to go ahead and pull them all out of here. All right. So, we have a little selection here that's going to be going into the Guppy tank that's getting redone here. So we have I've got it labeled here, number 33. We have a little bit of bulbitis. I think that's going to look really good once we get it in there. Now we'll be getting these out of their little bags here and double checking everything, but the plants look good. And these all came from the Aquarium Plants Factory out in Fontana, California. So shout out to them for the plants looking this good. So that is Cryptocrine Wente Green. And I do expect that to melt a little bit when I do plant it, but that'll be okay. Usually it's supposed to bounce back. So this one is Hydrocaudal Tripitaria, or Tripitite, I don't know. Hydrocaudal Japan. How about that? So it's another new one that I have not had. These are all plants that I have not had in any of the aquariums before, so that will be cool. This one, another one that's going to look really good in the tank, I think. This is Hygrophila pennitifida. Another one that looks really good. Should look good here once I get it in the water, but that is Myrophilium aquaticum. So, fun little unboxing there. Can't wait to get them in the tank. So that'll be the project that we start on probably tomorrow morning. So I will bring you back when it's time for that. Okay, so you saw the unboxing there at the beginning of the video. This is why we're unboxing. So as you can see, the Rotala is completely overgrown and going absolutely crazy. But, you know, it's healthy. Java Moss needs a trim. There's another Boost Flanger back here that you just can't see. That one's doing great though. My Java Fern is no longer attached to the thing it started off attached to, and has a severe case of the liens now. The bamboo up top, the peace lily up top, all successfully rooted in the bottom. So tank needs taken care of, but that was kind of the plan. I knew I was going to be doing this, just kind of waiting for the plants to come in, because I've got a brand new idea for this tank. So I'm not going to bring you along for cleaning this up, but we're going to get the plants out of here. We are going to probably have to lower the water level so I can catch the fish. I'm going to get as many of the snails as I possibly can, and we're going to get this a good clean slate here to start off with. And when I'm ready for that, I'll bring you back when we're ready to start over with the brand new idea. But this is where we're at right now. So I will bring you back here in a little while once this is all taken care of. So I know the video is for the Guppy tank, and I'm going to get back to that here in a second. But I wanted to bring you over here to this tank. Normally we'd see Theodore swimming around in here. He was the blue and yellow half moon Betta, He unfortunately has gone to the Great Fishbowl in the Sky. I thought I'd bring you guys along, let you know that it happened. Not sure what the case was. I don't know. He was full size when I got him, and it's been about 2 years since I've had him. So I don't know if he just reached his age. Everything externally looked absolutely fine on him. It's entirely possible it was something internal. Not entirely sure, but that's part of the hobby. So I wanted to let you guys know that it happened before we got onto the Guppy tank. It's unfortunate, but it happens. It's something that we should all be prepared for, and it's part of life. So I wanted to let you know. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this tank right now. There are some algae eaters in here as of yet, so I'm going to let them keep doing their thing for a little while, throw some algae wafers in until I can get them moved around, and then we'll see about maybe doing something different with this tank. I'm not entirely sure yet, but the plants are doing great. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get back to the Guppy tank here now, but I wanted to let you guys know that that happened. Alright, I had to bring you along for that little message about Theodore, but we're back over here at the Guppy tank. It's as clean as I'm going to be able to get it. Glasses, I mean, this tank's, who knows, it might be older than me. I'm not entirely sure. But, cleaned out. I've already got the base layer in. I will link the video below. Or I will link below the video, that's what I'm trying to say, on how I did the base layer. That way you guys can see that. It's the same idea as what I did last time for the Guppy tank. I've got the gravel, aqua soil. As you can see, some of the aqua soil I've already messed up and brought that to the surface. I've got a few rocks in there already because I've been playing around. But the big thing this time is going to be, I have a great big chunk of wood. So the idea is that it's going to be in here somewhere. I need to zoom out. And apparently tilt down a little bit. Gosh, you guys can't see anything. So I'm just trying to figure out placement wise. I know I don't want it dead center because that's gonna just look awkward. It does have that little lean to it, so I could kind of set it over here to the corner, sort of like that. It's gonna be sticking up out of the water. I could have this little base here for a little planting area. There are little nooks and crannies all through it that I could use. Probably still going to have the filter over here on this side. So, not entirely sure how I want to do it, but it's going to be something along those lines where, you know, do I want to turn it around and kind of lean it more so towards the back so you can see that gap a little bit better? I don't really know. So I'm going to play around with this for a little bit. I've got a handful of rocks here to help stabilize it, and when I get it figured out, I will bring you guys back. Alright, so this is what I've come up with. It's basically, I wanted it to look kind of like a tree. The idea that it's kind of grown out from this little rock outcropping. I don't know how to describe it, but that's kind of what I saw in my head, and using what I have, that's what we've got. So I'm going to get the filter in so I know it's in there and where it's going to be, so I don't plant something in the way, right? I'm sure we've all done that. But I've got my little bucket here that has the filter in it. Now this is a little Nicru filter. I do like it. I like it enough that I put one in the tank that is right here as well. Works well. Little spray bar on it. Little suction cups. So that's in there. Spray bar's ready to go. So now it's time for some plants. So I'm going to be doing the foreground plants first. And I have my new plants that I just got. They were in water. Haven't taken them out of the package yet. I'm just going to go ahead and pour the water in, because that's some of the treated water that's going to be going in here anyway. So this is the Cryptocrine. I believe it was Cryptocrine Wenti. Now I do expect some melting with this. I've never had it before. I've seen other people have it and it's melted and then come back, so I'm just kind of expecting it to. Maybe it won't, I don't know, but nice little group there. I'm going to see if I can split it into a couple smaller groups here. So got that in, and just like that, having that little bit of green in there kind of feels like it's coming to life. So let's get out one of our next plants here. Now this one I already had in there. This is the Boost Philander Brown, or Brownie. This was doing great in there before, and I have two of these. And they've actually flowered for me a few times, so let me see where I'm going to put these. So we're getting there. Now I also have the Hydrocotyl Japan, and I'll be honest, I'm not entirely sure where I'm going to be putting it yet, so I'm going to hold on to it until I make that decision. So let me bring you back here in a second once I have some more of the plants ready. Alright, I'm back with more plants. Now before we get going on the plants, Francis, come on. If you hear the random noises starting and stopping in the background, that would be thanks to Francis. Francis has discovered that he can move the filter in the 55 gallon, and sometimes he disconnects it. He seems to be having fun. Anyway. Before we get too far into this, if you're taking your time planting, which I am doing, make sure that you are spraying down your plants here. That way that they don't dry out on you. Now the Boost Flanger I'm not too worried about, but the Crypt and some of these other plants that I'll be putting in here probably don't want to get too dry. So I've got some Java Fern. I have some Oasis, and I have some oh shoot, what's the name of it? Pinatafida. So my idea was that some of that was going to go around the tree, we'll call it here. And I hope you can all hear that. Give me 1 second. Danny, here's a thing for you. If anybody's watching this and you guys have turtles, do yours do that? Do they just cause trouble? Or, you know, feel free. Let me know. Say something in the comments. So I've got my Java Fern. It's looked better, but it was underneath all of that plant life there in the other tank. So I'm hoping that this will kind of start filling in a little bit more, look a little bit healthier for me. More Java moss. The downside of Java moss, you trim it and it just gets everywhere. So the tank is already filling out here. Okay, so this is the bulbitis. So again, this water's from the water Java moss. This water is the water that is already prepped to go in here. So we're just going to keep slowly filling this tank up as we go. Francis! Man, he's just being bad today. I don't know what's gotten into him today, if I'm honest. Oh, and there are a bunch of little ones in here. I've not had these out of the bag yet. So this is actually pretty cool. So that's going to be intermingled with the Java Fern, and I think it's going to end up looking really, really cool having the different leaf structure. But as we can see, it's 4. Got this little one, number 5, and number 6. I wasn't expecting that many. That's actually really awesome. I don't think we're going to use all of them. So that means I've got bulbitis for other projects now. And I should be able to kind of wedge this in to the tree in places here. Well, what I'm calling the tree. Maybe that one's not going to work. Let me try this one. don't like how that one's sitting. This is extremely difficult to do with the tiny workspace being behind the camera. That looks a little different. And that's definitely not going to float there. And I feel like this one's just too much for that. That's the thing, when you guys are doing this, don't be afraid to change things up. Experiment with it and try different ideas. See what looks good to you. Keep these other pieces. And then we have the Pinnatifida. Not entirely sure where I want to put it now that I see how I have the Java fern. So I'll be right back. I'm going to spray this down again. Make sure everything's staying damp. And give myself a chance to think. So I'll be right back. Alright, so I was just having a little bit of play around with the Hygrophila Pinnatifida here, and I kind of like how it was able to just kind of stick into the piece of wood. It's not glued in or anything, but it should hold. But I had 4 nice stems from them as well. And it kind of gives it that little tree look as well. Now, I don't have anything over here on this side. I've got it all over here, so I'm thinking I'm going to take this one here, and it can be planted just like a stem, or a stem plant as well, if you can hold on to it. I can't do this sitting down here behind the camera. And that'll bring some of it over here to this side. So I've kind of got some crypt over here. I brought the boost out a little bit. The Java fern's been growing this way anyway off of that bit. Most of the Pinnatifidus here, but I do have this one over here now. Kind of breaks it up a little bit. So now we'll be adding our stem plants into the background. I had the Alternanthera Renicky in here before. I'm going to be putting that in here again. I do like that pop of color from it, and I should get a little pop of color from this Pinnatifida as well, with it being closer to the light here, which I can also adjust. But I should... I've got that, and then I've got the Rotulahatra. I'm going to be bringing some of that back in. And then, of course, I've got our new stem plant. So let me spray down again, get those while I consider the Hydrocaudal Japan on where I might want to put that. So I will be right back with you again. Francis, come on, man. I absolutely love the pop of color from this plant. So when that grows up, it'll be nice in the middle. And look at the roots on this little guy. So now the Myrophyllum aquaticum. Got 9 little stems with it. And the bottom bits of it are looking a little yellow. So I'm not sure if that's just how they were grown. Maybe not enough light getting down to them. But I can also feel they're starting to dry out. So I'm going to get these planted here real quick, and then we'll get the tank filled up for the last bit. Alright, so I'm going to get the tank filled up, and I'll bring you back for once that is done so we can get the last bits in. Okay, so we are full of water. Plants, it'll take a day or two for them to stand up the way they should. But they will, and I'll get a little clip of that here for the final shots. But we still have the Hydrocotyle Japan, and the one plant that I'm going to keep in that was coming up above the water was the Peace Lily, and I am going to be putting that back in. So let me get the little bit of water out of the Hydrocotyle Japan. It just doesn't separate as easily as I'd like it to. let me get all those pieces out. Okay, and time for the peace lily. Now the peace lily was the smallest one I had and was doing so well that I cut 2/3 of the roots off of this thing. So I'm trying to get it in here where I want it. That might be a little trickier than I was planning. I know you can see that little ball of roots there, but we're not going to worry about that for the moment, because the plants will grow and block that. So let me bring it back a little bit and tilt you up. I do like these lights a lot, and I will put a link in the comments for them. So what do you say we get the filter on? Alright, filter's on and running. It is kicking up a little bit of dirt and grime, but this was the filter that was in there before, and I didn't really do much to it. Just kind of left it running when I moved it to the other tank. So I expected a little bit to kick up, and then of course there's some plant particles from me planting and things like that. But while this is running, I'm gonna go ahead and grab our residents. So we'll be right back. Okay, so I've got our residents. The water parameters are gonna be the same. I basically refilled this with some of the fresh water that they were already in. So we're going to go ahead and get this started with them in it. So we'll give them some time to get settled. I know their home just had a big makeover. So I'll bring you back, like I said, once everybody's kind of settled in, but we'll see you here in a few seconds.